Last budget, there was a photograph. You remember the photograph? Of course. वो मक्खन बांटने वाली, हलवा बांटने वाली फोटो. मैं हैरान हो गया कि इस बार फोटो ही हटा दी. हलवा खिलाया मगर दिखाया नहीं किसको खिला रहे. प्लीज. तो at the center of any new development paradigm for this country, which runs parallel with the production paradigm I spoke of, which works together with the production paradigm I spoke of, is the participation of lower castes, OBCs, Dalits, Adivasis in the wealth of this country. If we look at the largest corporates in this country, they're all owned. None of them are owned by OBCs. None of them are owned by Dalits. None of them are owned by tribals. If we look at the biggest media companies that support the Prime Minister, every day we see the Prime Minister's pleasant face, smiling face on these media. None of them are owned by OBCs. None of them are owned by Dalits. None of them are owned by Adivasis. This is the fact. So central to any new development paradigm is the architecture of a new paradigm. And that architecture of the new paradigm can only be built once the caste census is placed on this table. Because once the caste census is placed on the table, we will know exactly how much of this country's wealth, how much of this country's power, how many of this country's institutions are owned by 90% of this country. There are OBC MPs in the BJP. There are OBC MPs in the BJP. There are Dalit MPs in the BJP. There are Adivasi MPs in the BJP. Remember, you are OBCs, you have 50% of the population and you have absolutely no power. I know that you're sitting there and you cannot even open your mouth. That is the truth of the country.
प्रधानमंत्री का चेहरा आपको दिखाई नहीं देता है.
जाति जनगणना,
प्रधानमंत्री का चेहरा आपको दिखाई नहीं देता है.
आर्किटेक्चर, participation, revolution in this country that we are going to bring.
ये कुछ दिखता नहीं है. सोनिया गांधी, प्रियंका, ये तो अपोजिशन को कुछ दिखाई नहीं देता है. ओबीसी बात करते हैं.
So the idea is, Speaker sir, the idea. Speaker sir, so the idea is, on one side, allow India and the Indian youngsters to participate in the coming mobility revolution. Allow them to participate in building robots, in building drones, in building electronic items, in building EVs. And on the other side, running parallel.
मैंने उनको ही मना किया.
country, Speaker sir.
ऐसा नहीं है. आप भी बहुत डिस्टर्बेंस करते हैं.
Okay, Speaker sir. So parallel ideas. One idea: participate in the mobility revolution. Whether you're thinking of economy, weapons, production, healthcare, India should participate in this revolution. India should become the master of the electric motor, master of the battery, master of optics, and master of AI applied on top of that production system. Now imagine the power of AI when we apply it to the caste census. You imagine what we will do with AI and what we will do with the social revolution in this country when we start to apply AI on the data that we get from the caste census. So we are going to run a parallel track. On one side, participation, revolutionizing the participation of Dalits, OBCs, Adivasis in the ruling of this country, in the institutions of this country, in distribution of wealth of this country. And on the other side, parallel track, challenge the Chinese and participate in the revolution and defeat the Chinese in electric motors, batteries, solar panels, and wind. So that is the first two parts of any presidential election address that any India Gathbandhan leader would give you. The final, of course, we go back to the Constitution. This, our favorite, just like the production system is a weapon, just like Jati Jangarna is a weapon of transformation, this is what the entire architecture is built on. I remember before the elections, all of you were saying 400 par, and you were saying you would change this. And then I was glad to see that the Prime Minister walked in and then was forced to bow his head in front of the Constitution. It was a moment of pride for all Congress people that we had explained to the Prime Minister and to the whole country that no force will dare touch this. I know that the RSS has never accepted this. Mohan Bhagwatji has said that India didn't get independence in 1947. He has said that this constitution is meaningless. I know that that is at your heart. We will never let your dream come true. This constitution is going to rule India always. Now,
एक मिनट आप प्रतिपक्ष के नेता हैं। मेरा आपसे आग्रह है कि जो विषय आप रखें वह तथ्यों के आधार पर रखें, तो उचित होगा। मैंने आपको पहले भी कहा, और जो सदन के सदस्य नहीं है उनकी चर्चा न करें।
बताता हूं सर, मोहन भागवत
आप नियम प्रक्रियाओं की पालन करें, आपसे अपेक्षा।
सर, मोहन भागवत जी ने स्टेटमेंट दिया।
मोहन भागवत का स्टेटमेंट
Sir, one second.
We will authenticate.
Speaker, sir.
We will authenticate.
Speaker, sir, Mohan Bhagwatji made a statement saying that India did not receive independence in 1947. It received independence when the Ram Mandir was inaugurated. We will place that on the table. Now, sir, I would like to mention one small thing, but very important thing. Speaker, sir, this constitution is supported by this constitution is supported by the vote of our people. Without the secure vote of the Indian people, this constitution means nothing. Now I want to bring to the notice of this House some data, some information about the Maharashtra election. Very simple stuff. Speaker, sir, between the Lok Sabha election, which the India Alliance won, and the Vidhan Sabha election, the voting population of Himachal Pradesh was added to the voting roll of Maharashtra. Meaning the entire population of Himachal Pradesh was added to the voter rolls of Maharashtra. Please understand what I am saying. In Lok Sabha, the difference between Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha was the population of Himachal. The entire population. Almost 70 lakh new voters suddenly arrived between Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha. Now, the most interesting part, and the Prime Minister is not looking at me. The most interesting part, suddenly. The most interesting part is Sir, Maharashtra में more voters were added in 5 months in Maharashtra than were added in 5 years in Maharashtra. जितने 5 साल में ऐड हुए उससे ज्यादा 5 महीने में ऐड हुए, आखिरी 5 महीने में लोकसभा चुनाव के बाद। सर, एक बिल्डिंग है सर शिरडी में, एक बिल्डिंग में 7,000 नए वोटर एक बिल्डिंग में ऐड हुए सर। एक बिल्डिंग में 7,000 नए वोटर ऐड हुए सर। सर, मैं कोई आरोप नहीं लगा रहा हूं, मैं कोई आरोप नहीं लगा रहा हूं, मैं सिर्फ ये कह रहा हूं सर कि इसमें कुछ ना कुछ प्रॉब्लमैटिक है कि हिमाचल प्रदेश जितने बड़े वोटर्स लोकसभा के बाद जादू से आ जाते हैं। अब हम क्या कह रहे हैं, हमने इलेक्शन कमीशन से रिपीटेडली कहा है कि हम आरोप नहीं लगा रहे हैं, आप एक काम कीजिए, हमें लोकसभा की वोटर लिस्ट दे दीजिए, नेम एड्रेस और इलेक्ट्रॉनिकली दीजिए, और विधानसभा नहीं है। नहीं सर, नहीं 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 नहीं, स्पीकर सर, स्पीकर सर,
वो सब वेबसाइट पे रहती है, सब जानते हैं, कभी भी कोई निकाल सकता है।
स्पीकर सर, मैं समझा देता हूं सर। स्पीकर सर, स्पीकर सर, वो स्पीकर सर, वी हैव आस्क्ड, स्पीकर सर, स्पीकर सर, we are asking this question, we are asking this, Speaker sir, population of Himachal Pradesh, please, population of Himachal Pradesh has voted, extra has voted in Maharashtra. We are saying to the Election Commission, please give us the names and addresses and polling booths of all the workers in the Lok Sabha and all the workers in the Vidhan Sabha, so we can calculate who these new workers are, who these new voters are. Interestingly, the new voters are mostly in the constituencies that the BJP has swept. Please understand, the new voters have been added mostly in the constituencies where BJP has swept. I am still not making an allegation. I am saying on the floor of the House that the Election Commission has to give the data of the Maharashtra elections to the Congress Party, to the Shiv Sena and to the NCP, so that we can see exactly where these voters have been added, who has been subtracted, who has been added, where they have been added. This is not an irresponsible request. This is a very simple request for them to fulfill. The reason I am saying this, sir, is because the rules have been changed. This is not just said in isolation. Speaker, sir, the election commissioner used to be chosen by the Prime Minister, Leader of Opposition, and the Chief Justice. Sir, the Chief Justice was removed from that committee.
Why?
Why? This is the question, sir. This is the question to the Prime Minister. Why was the Chief Justice removed from the committee? Now, in a few days, I am going to go to the meeting. I am going to go to the meeting. There's going to be Mr. Amit Shah and Mr. Modi ji. And there's going to be me. 2 to 1. Why am I even going to the meeting? What is the purpose of me going to the meeting? I am only going to the meeting to certify what Modi ji and Amit Shah ji are going to say. Right? Whereas if the Chief Justice was there could be a discussion. Chief Justice and Leader of Opposition could say, no, we don't agree. So, there seems to be a calculated strategy. Now, just prior to the Lok Sabha, the election commissioner was changed and 2 new election commissioners were placed.
Yes.
We know that the election dates were changed.
Yes.
We know that the elections were postponed. These are facts. These are not things I am inventing. So, in order to safeguard this constitution, the entire opposition requests the data for the Maharashtra election. We request the data and the electoral voter list for Lok Sabha and the corresponding list for Vidhan Sabha. And I am very confident that the Election Commission will not give us this information. Speaker, sir, that is broadly. So the third element of our President's address would be a determined defense of India's institutions, of our democratic system, and a re-look at our entire democratic framework, and the looking again at all the institutions that have been taken away from the people of India. So those would be the type of things that we would say in a presidential address. I'd like to finally say one thing. In the last, थोड़ा बढ़ा देता हूँ. अब मैं थोड़ा और खींचूंगा. अब और खींचूंगा थोड़ा. अब और खींचूंगा. So in the last, there is a background, a philosophical background to what I am saying. Essentially, what I am saying to the youngsters of India and to this House is that instead of focusing on multiple things, instead of telling us a laundry list, give us a strategy, give us a vision, make it clear, right? Now, there is a philosophical basis to this. There is even a deep philosophical basis to this. I showed you the picture of Shivji, which you didn't allow me to show. I showed that picture for a reason. What does that picture tell us? If you look at that picture carefully, it tells us focus carefully. Do not get distracted. Do not look here and there. Do the job at hand. So there is a philosophical basis to the speech I have given. I have not told the House and the country that we will do this, and this. This is the philosophy of Shivji. Say what you have to say, but be clear that you're going to do that one thing and don't do 50, 60, 70 different things. So there is a link between our philosophical tradition, our religious tradition, and what I'm saying. And that is what India needs to do. India needs to connect the past, the values of the past. You talk about Sardar Patel ji, but you destroy Sardar Patel ji's values every day. You talk about Ambedkar ji, you destroy his values every day. You talk about Nehru ji. No, you don't talk about Nehru ji. Right? You bow in front of Buddha. You destroy what he says. So the point is, you have to be truthful to what you are. Right? And it is important that when you are giving a way forward to the nation, there is clarity. There is clarity of purpose. There is no hatred. There is no violence. There is no anger. Because these things are destroying our country. So my speech has not been angry, has not been nasty. My speech has been very polite, very kind. And I thank the Prime Minister for coming and listening to it.
Thank you.